Warning, the following video is not intended for children. It is only for adults only, so keep your kids off my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Horror Freaks, episode 6. Oh, and as you know, I bring a guest. We talk horror every week. Special guest every week. You guys know how this works already. And if you're new to the show, welcome. Go back to episode 1 if you want to know how all of this works. Anyway, let's get the show on the road, baby.
Today's special guest will be Bran from Bloody Breakdown.
You're not the pizza guy.
Zombies ate my neighbors! Now playing on Sega Genesis and Super NES, a 55-level feeding frenzy of time-cut creature features. Fend off B-movie maniacs with your weed whackers.
What's up, everyone? If you don't know who I am, don't worry, you're in good company. My name is Bran, and I run a YouTube channel here called Bloody Breakdown, where I obviously cover anything and everything horror-related.
Question 1. Do you think you could survive an encounter with Ghostface from Scream?
Could I survive an encounter with Ghostface? You know, being a huge fan of the Scream franchise, that brings up a lot of questions for me, like, which Ghostface are we talking about? Someone who's previously donned the mask in the film? Somebody new? Maybe I'm thinking too much into this, as I generally speaking do. But could I survive an encounter with Ghostface? You know, generally Ghostface are typically pretty clumsy. Their plans start out really well, but unravel horribly.
No, wait! Is that a spoon? What are you doing? What? Oh my goodness. Now we both look stupid because I'm running away with somebody with a spoon.
You know, I'm no Sid Prescott. I'll say that. But I've always fancied myself more of a Randy.
Everybody's a suspect!
So I could at least survive one encounter with Ghostface. If he or she comes back, I'm for sure getting pulled into a fucking van while some loser kids walk by listening to Cottonmouth Kings while I get my face ravaged.
Question 2. Which horror franchise do you think is underrated?
Most underrated franchise for me has to be Blair Witch. I mean, that original film, in my estimation, is top 10 horror of all time. I'm a big fan of less is more sometimes. Sometimes that really works, and I think Blair Witch Project is a prime example of that. I don't even need to go into the entire genius marketing campaign with the internet in its infancy. I even have a small guilty pleasure for Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. In a lot of ways because I know what that movie could have been as opposed to what it was. And the third film they made, just simply entitled Blair Witch, I know a lot of people took a big dump on it, but personally, I thought it was a really good follow-up to the original. I like how they show things a little bit more than the first one because we're in kind of a new era, and, you know, maybe people don't have the attention span they had back then, I don't know. But never really giving away what you're seeing exactly. I love the franchise. You know, 3 films, a laundry list of video games, and, you know, books that, you know, just expand the mythology. I think it's severely underrated, criminally underrated. And, yeah, Blair Witch, the original, is one of my favorite films of all time.
Question 3. Which horror character would you like to see in a fight?
I know the ship has sailed on this, and this is probably not going to be happening ever. I'm 100% certain of that, but going back to the days of Freddy vs. Jason, when, you know, we're finally getting it after, what, a 10-year time span of trying to get this thing together. There was a lot of talk over at Dimension of doing Michael Myers versus Hellraiser Pinhead in a Halloween film. And I don't know why, because even after all these years, I'm not like a teenager anymore who just wants to see some shit like that thrown together. Even after all these years, I would still absolutely love to see it, because I think that Halloween is a hugely viable property these days. Hellraiser is not. Hellraiser could kind of use that boost. I think the two of those characters coming together could give another interesting backstory take on Michael Myers. It could give us other layers of Pinhead, and I think that the two of them together, it's not a perfect match, but I think it could really work. And even after 15, 20 years of hearing about this, still never materialized. And like I said, I know it's never going to happen now, but if I had my druthers, Pinhead versus Michael Myers is still one of my most wanted things in the horror world. Never gonna happen. Be nice. And fuck you, Harvey. Fuck you, Weinstein. You piece of shit. Now it's definitely not gonna happen, because you're a turd.
Is there anything you would like to advertise? Do you have any upcoming projects you would like to share with us?
So if for some reason you still want to check out what I do, it's Bloody Breakdown here on YouTube, where we cover anything and everything horror film related. Right now I'm doing a lot of talk about Spiral from the Book of Saw, Halloween Kills, what Spyglass Media Group is doing with the Scream franchise, and I'm working on an episode of Bloody Breakdown, which is where I specifically break down, as it were, some of my favorite horror films of all time. I'm working on a little film from 1979 right now entitled Phantasm, so check that out. And before I go, I want to thank Strange Monkey for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, thanks guys.
What a movie Rolling Stone magazine calls a delicious blend of fun and fright that's smashingly scary.
It was funny, it was exciting.
It's a scream, baby!
The whole thing was fun.
Never say, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back!
For the first time on television, the Blair Witch Project comes to pay-per-view. Experience the movie critics call a groundbreaker in fright. An instant classic.
I hear him downstairs!
The Blair Witch Project, now on pay-per-view.
And now, a moment with Noodles.
Halloween 3 is the only Halloween film that matters.
And that was a moment with Noodles. Thank you very much for watching, Horror Freaks. Be sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell. We will be back same time next week, Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Don't miss out.